2020's The Big Lie returns, now with Matt Gutman.
Move, move! In these cynical times when heroes are scarce, Navy SEALs may be the one thing Americans can still believe in. Capable of almost superhuman feats of combat skill and endurance, they are the real deal. Famed for taking out world enemy number one, Osama bin Laden. Hollywood has turned the SEALs' real-life exploits into big-budget movies, like the just-released flick Lone Survivor. So if you happen to meet a SEAL, you might react the way Carol Roberts did when she met A.J. Dickin.
Clear it, come around, and shoot.
With awe.
What was your first impression of him?
He's a big guy. He commands authority by his size.
It was 2011 in Carson City, Nevada. Carol, herself a Navy vet, was a student at Dickin's military-style self-defense school. That's Dickin running and gunning in videos he made to promote his business.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Learning from a Navy SEAL was part of the fun, but Dickin wasn't just any old SEAL. He claimed tours of duty in Vietnam, Grenada, Desert Storm. You name it, he's been there, earning him the status as the most decorated Navy SEAL in history. If anyone asked for proof, he had his discharge papers at the ready, even emails from Colonel Oliver North.
Punched the head, shot to the throat.
Dickin's self-defense school was a success, but he dreamed way bigger. He wanted to set up his own lucrative overseas security business. To bankroll his new venture, Dickin turned to a pair of local doctors enrolled in his self-defense classes. The savvy SEAL talked them into investing upwards of $850,000.
He said, well, I'm ex-Navy SEAL. Then I went into the CIA.
He can be very charming, very engaging. He presents a face that kind of draws you in.
Dickin's mystique and the allure of a big payout led Carol Roberts to sign on as the marketing director of the new firm.
They needed somebody to do their marketing, and so I said, I'll do it.
So you actually quit a good job in order to work with Dickin.
Yep.
Because you thought the money was coming in.
Yep, I had seen the contracts that were, part
worth
of
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yep, Dickin, that smooth-talking SEAL, had landed a security contract with the United Nations affiliated organization, allegedly worth about $500 million. It's all coming together. A.J. Dickin's excellent adventure is getting off the ground.
All of a sudden, it was like, we're leaving for Burundi in a week.
No, this isn't the script for an action flick, but the first bit of business for Dickin's new venture. Deep in the African nation of Burundi, there's a construction project looking to hire a security firm. Dickin leads an expedition there to seal the deal. Carol Roberts is part of that team, as is chief pilot Mike Reynolds. But shortly after they land, the wheels start falling off.
By the second day, we realized that people didn't know who we were, what we were doing there. His house of cards started to crumble.
The business trip to Burundi has turned into a bungle in the jungle. And when the going gets tough, the tough get drunk.
He'd fill up a glass of vodka and have that down for breakfast. It was insane. The whole situation there was just dangerous.
Carol's suspicion grows when the power goes out in the hotel and the supposedly steely-nerved SEAL nearly wets his fatigues.
He freaked out, picked up his phone, runs into the other room, talking to the CIA to have them reposition the satellite so he can make sure that the rebels aren't coming to get him.
No.
Yes.
Just then, a friend back in the States tips Carol and the team off to a strange video just posted on YouTube.
If I get one more phone call asking me to verify if A.J. Dickin was ever a Navy SEAL, I'm going to take this grenade, pull the pin, and blow myself up.
The guy in the video isn't some lunatic. He's actually a real former Navy SEAL, one Senior Chief Don Shipley.
I knew right away you weren't a fake. All I got to do is check your name. I'll check your name. Just like that, a couple of keystrokes. I'll tell you if that guy was ever sealing up.
Shipley has made it his personal mission to ferret out the fakes every single day using a special database only real SEALs can access.
How many guys have you exposed?
Thousands.
Thousands?
Oh, yeah. I verify on average at least 20 fraudulent SEAL claims every day.
But Shipley says A.J. Dicken was no ordinary SEAL faker. For one thing, his claims were so over the top. Remember those discharge papers?
The awards in here are outrageous.
Why are they outrageous?
Oh, he says he's got 2 medals of honor. That hasn't happened since World War I.
In fact, Dicken never served a day in the military, and his phony resume was missing a few details, like the burglary conviction that landed him in a California prison. For the team back in Burundi, that last bit of Dicken's cover is blown to bits. But knowing he's a fraud is cold comfort.
You're sitting in the middle of Africa with somebody that you're pretty convinced at this point is a sociopath at best, a psychopath at worst.
The team hightails it back to Nevada, and Carol Roberts wastes no time blowing the whistle about the real A.J. Dicken.
I went to one of the doctors with all of the evidence I had and said, "You have a problem." It was all a great big fraud.
Dicken was fired and skips town, leaving only burned bridges and emptied wallets. Months later, Dicken is back on the radar when ABC station KGO picks up his trail, leading to his parents' house outside Los Angeles.
I need to talk to you about your Navy SEAL background.
I don't have a Navy SEAL background.
You told a lot of people that, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Now, true to form, Dicken heads for the hills again, but nobody is sure which hills until a few months ago.
So we've been trying to track down Dicken for weeks now. Finally, we know where he is and where he's going to be.
2020 tracked Dicken to a secluded property in rural Arkansas, where the road ends. The man doesn't get out much anymore, but finally we spotted him.
How you doing, Mr. Dicken?
I have nothing to say to you.
I'm Matt Gilman from ABC. These appear to be your discharge papers, and folks in the Navy SEAL community say that you're not a commando, you're a con artist. Which is it?
I have nothing to say to you.
Well, if you actually talk to me, I'd like to hear your side of the story, sir.
But Dicken can't drive away so easily from his shady past.
Here we go.
He's an ex-con, still banned from handling weapons, meaning this Rambo routine is illegal. And now he's facing felony firearms charges in Nevada. But as of today, A.J. Dicken still walks the earth, maybe not as a SEAL, but as a free man. The people who say he's conned them are hoping to see him soon wearing a different kind of uniform.
You'll never get paid back for what you lost, but can you ever get payback?
To be able to bring this to light and not just sweep it under the rug is what my payback's going to be. He's a coward and a liar, and that's all he has been, and that's all he ever will be.